Hey guys, Locodoco here with Pobelter, who went 2-0 this weekend. I have to ask you about that. Did you expect you guys to be going 2-0?
Yeah, practice had been going pretty good for us. I know a lot of people were rating us not that highly, but heading into the first week and considering the teams we were up against, we were really confident heading into the games.
So, Saint was actually a huge part of your team last year, and with him leaving, how has Gabe filled that hole? Gabe's a completely new coach. He started an academy. It's his first time being in LCS, and he wasn't even going to be the LCS head coach this time around. So, what's Gabe been like?
I was also kind of scared at the start when that whole thing with Saint happened because I didn't know anything about Gabe. But when he stepped into the role, I think he's been doing a good job. And it kind of reminds me of a lot of how IMT was back when Dylan Falco was our coach. Feels a lot more like he's trying to start the conversation and then we all kind of collaborate together to find the solution rather than how on TL it was kind of the coaches having like a much more official say and leadership. How do I put it? Like, they would kind of say like, this is right, this is wrong, you do this, don't do that kind of way.
Yeah, Coach say goes.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. So fan perception of Flyquest has been pretty low, and also fan perception of you has been low. But that's far from the truth, in my opinion. And could you elaborate a little bit on why you think fan opinion doesn't matter as much, or why fans end up with an inaccurate opinion of how good teams are, how good players are?
I think a lot of it is just, people read one thing and then they kind of latch onto that, whether it's an opinion from the casters or just kind of like the general opinion. It's really easy to kind of piggyback off of that and then just formulate like conclusions or opinions like, oh, Flyquest is going to suck. Oh, Pobelter sucks. But yeah, you just got to try and keep a level head outside of that because the fans, the casters, even the analysts only get to see a very slim portion of what's actually going on behind the scenes of all the work and what there is behind the scenes. So yeah, that's just how it is sometimes.
Yeah, fans don't really get to see the complete picture, and whenever you see a caster or like a streamer say something about a player and they just repeat it, and that just becomes the official opinion on that player. So there's been some talk about player ceiling, how players in Korea have incredibly high ceilings, how young players have incredibly high ceilings, like European imports, they have high ceilings, but North America players don't. Can you talk to me a little bit about player ceiling, what it is, and if it actually even does exist?
I think it's more of a mindset thing, which is why you see rookie players improve very quickly. It's because they're really willing to learn and accept all the feedback, admit that they were wrong. And of course, they're just a lot more motivated and driven to improve because it's very fresh to them. I remember as a rookie, like 5 years ago, was it? It's definitely a different feeling now. Back then, it was pure motivation and joy for the game and improving. Now, I would say I'm still working as hard, if not harder, but it's a lot more discipline focused. But yeah, I really don't think there's ever any limit to how much you can improve in this game. Like, there's also just players that you would say, okay, he's played a few years and he's hit his ceiling, but that's really not the case. Like, players like, I don't know, Khan, who was just hard stuck in LSPL for 2 years, and then he just came back to Korea. He was like Longzoo's last option for a top. They're like, oh, fuck, we can't find anyone. And then he just like pops off and starts shitting on everyone. There's so many examples of that throughout all of competitive league. So I don't really believe that there is a true ceiling. Even if I have a bad performance, I don't think that makes me feel like, oh, I've hit my limit, maybe I should stop. It just makes me more motivated to go beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, this year, after getting benched from Team Liquid, like, you've been on a tear lately, both games. So, yeah, player ceiling, probably a miss. One thing I do want to talk about also is Santorin, 9.5 mechanics, vintage meme, only us two got it. So Santorin gets a really bad rep for being a passive jungler, but he's actually rated really highly by most people in the know. Like, I remember last season for summer, he was third in all-pro list. Could you talk to me a little bit about Santorin?
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like our team has a lot of players that just get like flamed by the community. Like, I got shit on a lot and blamed for TL's failures on an international level. Santorin still gets flack for being TSM ward bot, super passive, whatever. Turtle, everyone's like, oh, he flashes in, haha, XD. So yeah, we're all kind of players that just get flamed a lot but it's cool. We're kind of bonded by that, honestly. Santorin's been great to play with. He's very aggressive. I don't know. I just like playing with him. It's been pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, I personally coach Santorin, so I know how aggressive he can be, like how good of a mechanic he has, as much of a meme it is. Like, a lot of people don't get it. Like, what's one thing that people should look out for when they're watching Flyquest games if they want to get a better idea on how these players are performing?
Dude, I don't know. Do we blow up their Nexus or not? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to answer that.
Because I feel like you guys go underrated a lot by the community, and even somewhat after today, like some of the comments I see is they just beat bad teams. They beat Optic. Who else? Who'd you guys beat yesterday? Oh, they beat dysfunctional Golden Guardians. Like, when do you guys think you guys will start getting the credit?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm also not trying to act like we're a top team right now. We're certainly not, I would say. I think there's a lot of room to grow right now for us as a team and individually wise for both of our rookies. Well, JJ isn't really a rookie. Viper is, but I would still consider JJ a rookie because he did play last split, but for like half the split. So not that much experience, and I'm trying to do my best with all the experience I had playing on TL, playing in LCS for like 5 years now, playing at all these international events to show some like guidance, you know, the kind of mentality you should try and have, things like that. And so, yeah, right now, we're definitely still in the beginning stages. It's only spring split after all. There's like 9 months still until Worlds. And the really important thing to remember is that we could be like bottom of the barrel of spring. Who knows? But we can still turn it around and, you know, qualify for Worlds in summer, do well in summer. I've had that happen a lot of times. Fans usually have short-term memory, I would say. But, you know, so you remember C9 going to semifinals, making history for an NA team. You don't remember when they were dead last, and everyone's playing the shit out of them. Maybe you remember IMT, you know, made it to the finals, made it to Worlds. You don't remember IMT didn't even make playoffs spring split. So, yeah, the most important thing is just continuous growth through practice, and then just not getting complacent, not getting lazy, and there's no end. That's pretty much all.
Is your end goal expectation making Worlds above these like 3 import teams like 100 Thieves, TSM, Team Liquid? You guys actually technically don't have an import because Santorin's grandfather then. Is that a possibility for your team?
Yeah, I would definitely say that is the goal. I mean, I didn't just like sell out. I'm not just chilling when I joined FlyQuest. I definitely had other options where I could have just, you know, sold out and been making like not way more, but like a considerable amount more, I would say. There were options where I could have just like, you know, just chilled. Like, I don't want to practice hard. I'll just be on this team, get my paycheck. I didn't want that either. I joined FlyQuest because I believe that we have a real shot of being a strong team. We had a good week 1, and I think we have a lot of potential for growth, even if we aren't like, I would say, a top team right now. We're a little inconsistent, I would say, honestly. So that's kind of my belief, and, you know, we're all just working really hard to try and make that a reality.
All right. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll keep a close eye. Thank you guys so much for watching the interview, and if you like the coverage, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much to Low-Key Community for making this interview happen. If you guys want to support them, the link is going to be down in the bio.